Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Man the Maker and welcome to a new Let's Play series for Age of Wonders Planetfall, the newest installment in the wonderful Age of Wonders franchise. If you're unfamiliar with that series, it is a 4X strategy game with a tactical battle element to it. It's been around for quite a long time and I have always loved the series. Typically they are fantasy, but the newest iteration, Planetfall here, has taken it into the science fiction realm, and I'm very excited for where that's going to take us. I've only barely played the game a little bit, but I've done a fair amount of research beforehand, and we've featured Age of Wonders 3 extensively on this channel, so I do think I've got a little bit of experience. I'm going to be leaning on that. I'm going to dive into the game pretty quickly, but before we do that, there are a couple of things. First of all, there is a campaign. We're not going to be doing that. We are just going to be doing pretty much what you would call a skirmish, right? We're going to be picking up just a new scenario. One of the features of Age of Wonders has always been its commander customization. So you have different races, but then there are, in the previous ones, different kinds of magic that you could specialize in that would, make each faction, each race, however you want to call it, each player, AI and human, quite a bit different from each other ones. A lot of customization goes in there that gives the game a lot of replayability, can give you a lot of different challenges, as there's all different kind of combinations possible. This game is no different. You have a bunch of different races as well as something that they call a secret tech. So we're not going to get too much into what that means until we actually can see it in front of us. But I think we're just going to go ahead and dive into the game. I will bring up the options. I haven't even actually tip them myself. It does come with a fair amount of options. You can reset your key bindings, of course, all different kinds of things. We're going to change this to no advice, actually, I think. Yeah, I mean, you can see for yourself, there's just a lot of options. I'm not going to be too worried about messing with any of this stuff right now. Video, advanced video. It's quite nice, actually, that they give you all of these options to change your graphics, but again, I'm not going to worry about it. Instead, we're going to go ahead and dive into a new scenario. A bunch of different scenarios that come with the game. These are, kind of different maps. You can just see right there what they mean. I don't personally know how much that affects things, right? I mean, I know it affects things a fair amount, but I lack the personal experience. We are just going to go, first game here, Imperial World, default Imperial World, suitable for recolonization. So what is the story of the game? Well, essentially, in a galaxy far, far away, blah, 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 there used to be an empire called the Star Union. Star Union spread out across the galaxy and at some point collapsed upon itself, and everyone kind of got separated from each other. And from this, different factions formed independently, depending on where they were, depending on what they were beforehand. And just recently, star travel has been enabled to happen again. And so these different factions are kind of reconnecting and going out and possibly recolonizing, hence Imperial World suitable for recolonization, recolonizing these worlds. And we're going to encounter these factions that have spent a long time apart from each other and have diverged quite a bit, some more than others, and we'll kind of take a look at that. We are going to be playing with opponent level on hard. It's my first game, but yeah, I'm gonna just, like I said, maybe we'll lose, but I've played Age of Wonders quite a bit. I feel confident that I will probably have a hard time. I mean, I'm not looking for an easy win here, so we're gonna go for hard. Maybe we lose, maybe we don't. We're gonna find out. We can do up to 12 players. I think I'm actually gonna turn it up to 8, have a little bit less space in the world, and then we move on to selecting our commanders. I'm not going to mess at all with the advanced setup. We're just going to leave everything on random here. We're going to leave everything on default, right? You can change how many classic turns, which I do quite like. You can have it set to simultaneous, which I don't quite like. And yeah, I think that's all we're going to do. Enable combat cards. You can go into manual combat by spending one of your combat cards. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Also change what the world kind of looks like. We're going to leave all of this at default. And I think we can just go back here and we're going to select our commander. Now, as I said, there's quite a bit of customization that you can do by selecting your commander. There are 6 different races. The Kirka, these are kind of insects that were once, they had a hive mind, and the Star Union smashed that hive mind, neutered it, and basically turned them into slaves. Once the Star Union fell, they kind of are trying to find their place back. So they're not necessarily the Zerg, though, I mean, there's nothing necessarily stopping you from taking them in that direction. Up next, you've got the Syndicate. These were kind of the ruthless trading houses. So they were traders, and they're kind of a bit stealthy and sneaky, but they are humans. They haven't done anything kind of ridiculous to themselves like some others have. Like we can go into the Amazons. Bioengineered Amazons have spent a lot of their time altering themselves to survive harsh circumstances. So these are the guys, dinosaurs with lasers, right? That's kind of what, if you had all followed the game, they're the ones with the lasers and the dinosaurs. The Devar are kind of Russian space dwarves, thrifty race of survivalists. They're all about the machines as well, and all about kind of plundering the environment. Next up, we have the Assembly. These are cyborgs that fought amongst themselves for a long time and caused such destruction that they ended up kind of rebuilding themselves into these cyborgs and recycling their own organs and all kinds of crazy things, having kind of figured out, okay, the only way to save the world, the only way to move forward is to break everything down and then reassemble it up into the new whole. And last, we have the Vanguard. These are kind of, I mean, they're actually pretty interesting, but they're also a little bit boring. They're just the rough folk with few ties to societies. They were the vanguard forces of the Star Union. And they're, I mean, you can kind of put them as you're a little bit bog standard. They've got infantry, they've got normal weapons, they've got giant mechs and stuff like that. We are going to be playing as the Assembly. Now, step 2 to this, right? We're going to go into customize so I can kind of show this off. I've actually already created mine. Step 2, right? You pick your race, you then pick your secret technology. And this is kind of, if you played Age of Wonders in the past, this is like, you know, you can kind of pick your magic, different traits that then guide you, give you an additional tech tree, basically. Different possibilities to go forward. And I think there's 6 of them here as well. So synthesis manipulates AI to their advantage. Interesting. We're not going to look too much into that. Celestians are basically angels, ancient order of psionically gifted individuals that strive to achieve inner enlightenment and create balance and harmony in the universe. The Void Tech warps the laws of physics, allowing the manipulation and teleportation of matter and energy. Xenoplague is, it sounds like, spreads through highly adaptive alien parasite, can be used to create biological weapons. Psi Number employs dark psionic powers to tear holes in reality and summon devious entities from the abyss. Promethean are planetary exterminators eradicating threats with their Pyrex fires, and then back to synthesis. So this is kind of also unlocks, I think, a way for you to win the game. And I don't think you know what your opponents have for this. In addition to that, you can also kind of pick a little bit of your own background. Right? Veteran makes you start at a higher level. Skilled Diplomat makes everyone like you a little bit more. You can pick kind of how your main hero is going to start. We'll get to that if you're unfamiliar, but you do start with the hero. So you can kind of be like, I want them to be close combat, or I want them to have ranged, or sniper, or start in a vehicle. And you can also pick vices, kind of downsides, right? Giving you more points, because you only have a certain amount. So what have I chosen to do? Well, we've got Carnelian over here. The Assembly, Celestion. Now, what's the idea behind this guy? Well, I was thinking, you know, these guys are trying to rebuild everything, breaking everything down on the physical realm and reassembling it into a perfect new whole. Well, this guy, Carnelian, has also decided we must do that with our minds as well. It's not enough. It's not enough to just break down and rebuild the body as we have here, but we're also going to be doing it to the mind. Now, I have to say, is this a powerful combination? I have no idea. Maybe I'm totally gimming myself, but we're going to go for it because I just kind of like the idea of these cyborgs who also kind of are in touch with angels and are going for inner enlightenment, balance and harmony, right? That's what these guys are also kind of about, a perfect new whole, balance and harmony, by whatever means necessary. However, we are going to be kind of going for a little bit of a friendlier game, right? Skilled Diplomat. we're going to start off with bonus relation with all races, including our own. So people are going to be a little bit friendlier. Doesn't mean we're not going to be going to war, but things are going to be possibly have a little bit nicer of a start, a little bit more peaceable there. We're going to see what we can do. If we need to bring people into enlightenment ourselves, if we need to enforce balance and harmony in the universe, well, we will do that, for example, with our assembly assault equipment. So we just start with a arc projector. We're also just a little bit, I mean, you can see a bunch of different bonuses there. Basically, we're better at shooting, at range combat. There's many different types of damage in the game. So we, for example, do arc. Our faction in general does arc primarily. We also use firearms. People have different resistance to this, and they're strong, and they have different natural effects, but we won't get too far into that just yet. We also start with an energy cache, so just starting with 300 extra energy, kind of because, I mean, I just wanted this one, and then I had an extra point, so I said, okay, let's just start with the extra energy, and we've got no vice. So you can see here a little bit more about the assembly. Reassemble fallen units, bringing them back to life. We gather extra resources from battlefield victories. We're very good researchers, and we're naturally resistant to arc damage. Let's go ahead and start.
Greetings, emissary of the assembly. Destruction breeds creation. That is certain. From the ruins of the Empire, your unique kind has emerged. You forged unity by merging with machines and transplanting the body parts of your enemies. Before you reassemble this entire shattered galaxy, remember that every world has life worth preserving. Not all beings are servile. You will face resistance.
All right, before we click go, I will say one thing I kind of like about their world building here is because they're kind of like, you're trying to reunite, right? I mean, if we are the assembly, all of these different planets exist and everyone's kind of reconnecting. And so it gives a story element to why you would have, 100 different individual skirmishes, right? Old Age of Wonders, you conquer the planet with one group. That, there's no reason why they're not empowered the next time. But here it's like each planet is its own individual thing. And I will now click the Start Game button, and let's go ahead and dive on in. All right, well, here we are. There's kind of a lot to unpack, and I'm going to try and, I might just try and get as much of it over with and done in the first episode. But, it's kind of, if you guys have played 4X games, you have your city gains resources, food to grow, production to build, research to get research. This game has introduced this kind of sector system, maybe an idea that they took from, no, it's not really the same as Stellaris. We won't worry too much about that until we get into things, but you can kind of expand without just building more cities. Just growing will also do that. So we have our main dude here. I don't know if you guys appreciate the sexy man that I built up here. Carnelian has a bunch of special abilities, right? Some of them come because we are who we are. Like, for example, scavenge scare parts. Whenever we win a battle, we just heal a little bit. This we got because of our special abilities, right? Attacking with ranged weapons are more accurate when fired from cover. A whole bunch of other stuff. It doesn't really matter so much for right now. We got our basic weapons. Not going to look too much into that, but we can look at our units that we started with. So what do we got here? We have a Vorpal sniper. So one of the units that the assembly gets are these snipers. They do a crap ton of damage. And I believe that this is firearm damage. Kinetic, maybe? Is there a difference? Is it the same? Kinetic and firearm? Probably. The kind of bonus that firearm or kinetic, it says firearm. Firearms tend to stagger opponents, and we'll kind of look into what that does. We also have concussive shot, which also can stagger. Apparently gives concussions. It can stun people. As well as a blinding shot, you can just blind people. Also for, decent damage. We've got Overwatch, but, we'll get into that. We don't want to dig too far into so many numbers and stats here. We also have our scavengers. These guys are kind of, they're quite good at the melee. I think their specialty, right? They've got this claw slash, which they can deal some damage. However, when they attack in melee, as long as they're non-mineral and non-ethereal units, we heal up. So they're kind of, we want to get them into that hand-to-hand combat. They do have a shotgun, however. You can also see a bunch of stats up here. There's hit points. You got armor, reduces incoming damage dealt to the unit, ignored by psionics. And you've got shields, reduces incoming damage with melee attacks, ignoring all shields. This is movement points? Yeah, so that's moving out on the world there. We also have, last but not least, our little inspector over here. So he's got an arc rod, does a little bit of damage. Can shoot up to 3 times, which is also a thing, which we'll get to. What's nice is that they have a little bit of healing, right? We can heal cyborg and mechanical units. We are all cyborg and mechanical units so far, so that's perfect for us. We also start with an additional scout here, right? And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to actually kind of like move around and see what's out here. We can see there's a bunch of enemies and stuff. We got buildings and things. Don't really know too much about what that all means. But what I do know is that this is a shiny thing here. An Imperial, it popped up for a second. An Imperial energy stash. So, I mean, we're probably going to want to go and pick that up as quickly as possible, right? So let's take our scout and let's move him out here. Indeed, remains of this transport contains a salvageable energy pod worth 29. It's a short distance reveal, no data on the origin, but fine, we'll take that. We will take that. And I mean, with this guy, we're just going to kind of go out. You can see, right, because we have scanners, we can see there are things out here. We don't know at all what they are, but they're like kind of points of interest, possibly armies as well. So you can definitely use that to your advantage. And if we zoom out even more, you can see kind of the resources available in each sector. But again, not going to dive too deep into that until it's relevant, right? There's so much information when you start a new game, when you start a new series for a new game that you want to get out there. We'll take it as it comes, right? Let's not overwhelm ourselves. I think I'm just going to have this guy just scout out. Of course, I'm going in a direction where there's apparently nothing. So let's loop back over in this direction. So we've moved him. I can also move this guy. Now, what we want to do right away is probably go out and get into a fight as quickly as possible. And there should be a place where it is recommended for me to attack. Maybe I turned that off completely. Perhaps I did. Well, all right. Well, we do need to kind of figure out where to go ahead and attack. We've got some units over here. Tier 1 liquid crystal. So these guys are mineral, which means we won't actually steal from them if we attack them. They also shoot fire and shoot arc. Well, we're strong against arc. But do we want to actually do that? Or do we want to go and fight someone inside of a sector? Maybe we want to go after a sector. What are you? Tier 2. So I don't think we want to go after Tier 2, right? You can use that. It says there, Tier 2 Vanguard Skirmisher. You can kind of use that to immediately assess the difficulty of a fight. For all Tier 1 units, fine. That's great. Otherwise, you might be a little bit more careful. Like this thing, it's probably going to be a spacer truck, Tier 2 Skirmisher. Apparently these guys are spacer psychos. So this is a little bit, the army power says 430. What is ours technically counting as? 690 plus 280. I think that's from our militia, indeed. So we are technically stronger than this thing. But I don't think we want to just go after and attack the most powerful dude nearby. Why don't we go and just fight these, right? Always in Age of Wonder games, you want to go around, you want to kind of clear out the areas around you. Lots of goodies that you can get, as well as just preparing yourself for expansion and defending yourself. So we're going to move him over here, and perhaps even get into a fight. Can we reach him? We cannot. Now, I don't know if you can you still do this? You used to be able to pull. No, it doesn't look like you can. So, all right, we're just going to have to go ahead and set production in our main city. So, of course, we can build some units right away. The scavengers we know, the inspectors we know, right? This is a scout slash, he can heal a little bit. We can also build a bunch of structures. Sector we don't know about. We can manage our colonists, which I'm frankly just going to leave this on default for now. We know in 3 turns we're going to grow a little bit. And because we're happy, in 6 turns we get an event. Now happiness is important, but again, not going to do anything with it. Here's our colony center. Don't really need to look at much here. I think it's fine if we just don't look at this. So instead, let's go and look at what we can build. Now we can build a military skirmisher barracks. This gives us an electrocutioner, some kind of skirmisher unit, apparently, probably ranged, dealing electrical damage, arc damage. We can also get Vorpal snipers. So we know about the snipers, unlock specialist units. However, what we're probably going to do is focus on the economy first. You can only build one of these central buildings in each colony. This one provides plus 10 energy. The biofarm provides 15 food. The replicator factory provides 15 production, and the science lab provides 10 science. So you kind of have to make a decision here. And I'm pretty much in between. There's our timer. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I'm pretty much in between the central biofarm and the central science lab here. Oftentimes I go for production, but what I was looking at, if we look up here, what we're getting in our city right now, we're making 85 production, which means the plus 15 is actually a pretty small percentage boost to that compared to what we're getting now. Same thing with the energy. I mean, the reactor core gives us 10 energy. That's like a little bit like 11% or something, a little bit over 10% boost to our energy. Whereas if we build the biofarm, that's almost doubling the amount of food that we get here. Almost doubling the amount of food that we get here. Same with the science lab, right? This is giving us, I mean, okay, not almost doubling, but still pretty good. I mean, it is about a little bit over a 50% boost. So I think what we're do is we're just going to go with the biofarm. We want to grow. Growing, like all games, gives us more people, and these guys all make, right? If I do that, you can see we get quite a bit more food. I think it's 5 per pop. Does it tell you? We do get 5. Can I take that off? Yes. 5 there as well. Focus here, it is also 5. So you get 5 for all the things. I'm going to leave them on auto because we kind of want everything right now. I mean, actually... Oh, did I? There we go. Now, I mean, this guy only gives us a 5 bonus to the production. But it's fine. I'm not going to get too crazy into it. But we know that food bonus is quite nice. And we'll go ahead and end the turn now. That being said, I mean, fortunately we are out of time for this first episode. Very, very wordy first episode. I know, but it's a lot to cover. I'm also half using this to kind of get to grips with what's going on because I played the game for only a short amount of time. But yeah, we're going to have new episodes coming out for this every day, probably for a long time. I am like really, really excited to play this game. Really excited to see what it has to offer. So I hope you guys stick around for that. If you got anything you would like to, any comment you want to bring, put it down below, please. I love to hear from you guys. I respond to almost all the comments. Still small enough that I don't get swamped with that. So take advantage of it because I'm going to be around here for a long time, and one day we'll get probably quite busy. Anyways, also I should add that I've recently created a Discord channel. If you guys want to come hang out there, by all means, you could find that on my page. I might even put it in the description below. I think I will do that. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button. If you've enjoyed this and you want to stick around, I've got lots of other content. You can subscribe to find out more of coming. I do about 2 videos a day, games similar to this, a lot of roguelikes and stuff like that. Enough plugging myself. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm having a blast. I'm super excited to get further stuck into this. And next episode, we're going to get our first combat. We're going to start setting our research, and we're going to see where things go from there. So until next time, my name is Man the Maker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.